everyone! Long story short, we played this last week and we got the third ending, and there's 3 more, 1, 2 and 4. And now I'm really curious to try those. I think one of the endings is probably gonna be Scintilla, but the other choice, so we try to save as many people as possible. This is the guy, I think. The mean one. Rufus. I knew it. Rufus. That's the one we gotta give the... Cause she said, what did she say? She said like, oh, he's super irritable, some shit.
What business is that of yours?
I figured out a treatment. Eat a pinch of this willow bark. You should feel better in no time.
Willow bark? And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you. I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again.
Are you a Christian, perchance?
I owe you one.
Yeah, like tell me about Virgil.
No idea what you're talking about.
I know it was you.
Yeah? Prove it.
Fuck! I'll be going by.
See you around.
Eyebrows are crazy. He gets them shaped, okay? Apparently, they got an esthetician in this in this town, cause dude. We investigated all 3 of them, but I don't know what house is their house. How am I supposed to know? Oh, what the shit up? They were not showing up last time. Okay, all right, game. I see how it is. Okay, I thought.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his 3-fold braying.
I actually want to talk to her. Oh,
Would you
looks busy.
Stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron. You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again.
She knows.
You're in a world of your
I
own,
need her.
aren't you?
I need to talk to her.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
Do you know, actually, what's your story? I want to know about this lady.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you just said, girl.
They never do.
Who's they? Do you know way out of here?
There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
Do you need help?
Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen things. A pattern, a terrible pattern. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
I'll be
The
going.
newly arrived
Ooh,
are
I unlocked that
ignorant
quest.
of the road before them.
Okay, so she definitely thinks that this is the underworld, and honestly I'm kind of prone to, I would be prone to say the same thing if it wasn't for the ending that we got, because like it doesn't make sense. If it's a god doing the golden rule, then why would Sentius have any power with that?
You, Sisyphus,
Ah.
attack or pursue the stone
That's
that
okay.
always returns.
An ancient Roman cavalry helmet with an enclose the face mask and plume made of dyed horsehair. Slay! It's so cunty. Fermented fish sauce used as a condiment. Okay. Wow, nothing in this house. Who's this? Slums? Who the fuck is slums? Slums. Slums. Wait, what does slums
Tantalus,
mean?
cannot catch the drops of water.
Which is through their eyes.
And the tree.
Oh
you
my
grasp
god, lady!
in-
Stop! Leave me alone! Keep that box closed. Oh! Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. Wait, it's the same that was in the bath? Looks like Demetrius was carrying a shield with him when he arrived in the city. Nope. Nope, I'm not doing that. Matter of fact, wait. Do we have enough money? I have enough money now to pay for the debt, technically. But I think I killed a guy already during this one. Dice Tower. A metal dice tower designed to stop people from cheating when rolling dice. Clearly, cheating must be a problem among Romans. Okay, nothing in this one. All 4 cities stuck. Fermented fish sauce is crazy. I don't even know what that would taste like. That sounds disgusting. Stone disc. That's him! He's the Christian. This is the fish. This is the Christian fish. What they used to use during Roman times. Oh my god. Okay. Not the not the mutes, dude, in Roman times. I just got sent a dick pic. Who is this guy? Rufius, that's him. What is that one? I believe it said a phallic charm thought by the Romans to have divine protective properties. Oh, there we go. I was actually thinking like, oh, like now I know because I saw the fish, but okay. Persuade Rufius. So it was Rufius. It was the one with rheumatism. Because he even said, oh, I wasn't able to think straight anymore. I think that genuinely it's because of that. Hi, I got lost, ma'ams. I think. What even is this place? This doesn't make any sense. What the fuck? A note scroll in which the author makes the case against the existence. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Durotas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for this city, for our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion. He deserves our admiration, but here I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching and deserving of our contempt. Type shit. Oh, I don't know how this is called in English. It's kinda like a theater. Amphitheatro, I believe would be. Gotta find that motherfucker.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die in here? Hello?
Hi, who are you? What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that all?
They said I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
I don't... Liability. I don't think liar Billy was a thing during Roman times.
Yes.
A silly Billy.
They said I have to live here now. And gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words.
Can you give me?
Do you
Don't worry
You
about it,
think
bro.
You could read it for me.
Can you fucking give me the letter? Ah. Magistrate Sanchez to Duilius. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I'm sympathetic of your plight. Is that a word? I don't know what it means, if it's a word. It's not changing. Oh, okay. Plight. And the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, which is the guy in the cistern. I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cistern, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated should you experience further lapses in memory. And he doesn't want people in the cistern, actually, because that's where he's keeping his kidnapped stepdaughter. I think it was, not daughter, step. Adoptive daughter. Adoptive, I think.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing, what we just read.
My treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure.
Give me the key.
But I couldn't find it.
Give me the key.
All I remember is
Give me the
he
key.
said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here.
I know
now
that.
nobody looks after me.
That's the one we tried to open.
Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Get to the point, Dooley. God bless, right? Dooley, for fuck's sake, just give me the key. If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it unlocks. Give it to me!
Said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust.
Did you trust me?
But maybe you could help me get out of here.
No.
Then I would trust you.
I don't trust you
Look.
out of here. You look like a pedophile. I'm not letting you out. 100% you would touch kids. No, you're not getting out of here. Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here. That's never gonna happen.
Valerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
I can't say this because, well, it might not start the golden, it might not trigger the golden rule because it's a maybe, but we're gonna avoid it. Then maybe it's time we have a new magistrate.
Like Galerius.
Oh yeah, Galerius.
He's nice.
Like my
I
mom.
like Galerius.
We could get my mom
He
as
made
the
me
new
a doll
magistrate.
and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Feels like I'm talking to fucking Kevin from The Office. I'll see what I can do, Dooley. Listen. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Talk to him already. Hi, Rufus, you fucking bitch.
You again.
Are you the one threatening
No
Virgil?
idea what you're talking.
Skip? I know it was you. I found an incomplete letter to him in your quarters. You man in the closet?
I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism.
Okay.
It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry. Mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. And I know I said I owe you one. So I'll leave him alone from now on.
Ah, just because you owed me
It's
one.
not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
No. Alright, no problem. Only because it was the only dialogue. Virgil, I
Solveig.
fixed it.
Ah, a new face.
No.
I hear we have.
No. Don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufus. He's just got rheumatism. You're chilling.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
Told you about that. I found an incomplete note in his house.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky.
No.
We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yes, and he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I talked to him. I found a treatment for his rheumatism. It made him agitate. He crashed out.
I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants help. I think he wants to help clean up his graffiti too.
Really?
Oh, really?
That's promising.
Type.
I'll keep an eye out for him.
Aki. Bye.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice, and we've done his whole thing, I think. Yes. What do we well, I think he's dead again. I don't remember actually. Did I kill him already or not? I also need to do this one to make him drop out of the elections, but I need to find proofs and I don't got any. Galerius.
I saw you slide down that rope before. Very impressive.
Type.
And strange, too, since that device you used is exactly the same as one I've been working on for weeks. Oh, of course! It's because I already gave it to you in a previous time loop, isn't it? Anyway, I'm sorry to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing to do me a favor?
What you need?
Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only
Okay.
Do you think you could use the device again?
Yeah, do it. Sure, why not? I'll see what I can do. Also, what, if ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the elections stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
I don't think he's gonna help
But how
Dooley.
could you know that? I mean, I don't like the man, but I don't see how you could know a thing like that.
I guess we'll wait and see.
I suppose you're right.
Bye.
All right, friend.
I get your flower. Didn't he say this one? Isn't this flower right here? You didn't put no robe? Oh, no rope, not robe. Do I gotta jump, you think? No, that's so crazy. I'll never be able to do that. Dude, yeah, I gotta jump. I can try. Oh no, it only goes one direction. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair makes me overwhelmed. Get it? Because it's at one direction like the band. Oh! I'm a genius. I'm so good. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Pro player. Careful. Careful, I'm a pro player.
Don't you just love spring? Salve again, my Sisyphean friend.
Hi.
Now, what's on your mind?
I got the
Brilliant!
flower.
You did it! Well done.
Thank you.
This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. Now I just have to figure out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment we met. But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be terrible.
You can do it, and I can come back and tell you.
You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. But at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful, and I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do?
I'm thinking one of these two. If you really love her, you need to get over her. That is true. You can't be together. So.
I've told myself that 100 times, but I just can't stop thinking about her. But you're right. I just hope I have the strength.
Bye.
All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
How did you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
I think this might actually be in the underworld. I think she died. I was hoping she would tell me more about the river, because maybe it's the same river we were at, where we randomly came from, because we also like came out of nowhere and we didn't actually remember our past, which again was a gameplay choice to, you know, make you pick the path that you wanted, but also plot-wise, we just randomly appeared there and we had no clue what we were doing. Oh, she's the priestess, we said.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
That's why she's so nice. What's your story? Sorry.
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from.
Yeah.
I suppose it's quite charming in its own way.
My God.
Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Sorry. Sorry.
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
So you bothered me for no reason? You nagged me? And then you were just gonna do it how I wanted to do it in the first
Fortune
place?
smile on you, sister.
Hi. Galatians, get out of my way! I'm not flirting with your girl, I'm just talking. What's a Vestal priestess?
You really don't know? You are from far away, aren't you? Well, I am one of the priestesses, charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is?
Remind me?
Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home, and the guardian of the Roman people.
Okay. What do you do here?
Put simply, I tend to the temples, ensure their sanctity is preserved.
I just remembered I have to go and do so. What? Why?
Why? So that we continue to honor our gods, invite their blessings, and not bring their wrath down upon us, of course.
Of course.
It's vital that we keep them appeased and remain in their good graces.
Girl, I think you're dead. How did you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A stranger dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
I wonder if... No,
What were you going to say?
I apologize.
No.
I don't mean to be cryptic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too?
One.
I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
You're being a bit coy.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair.
Also, I do have an
She was
esthetician.
always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here.
Uh-huh.
And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her.
Galerius is a
There
dumbass.
is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
Galatius, speaking of, come
Salve
here.
again, my sister.
Uh-huh. What's your story? Galerius, how the fuck do you got here?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but
Don't worry about it.
I don't mind telling it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking
That's
out.
quite an impressive
You see,
bow you
about
have.
7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. Never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
I'm thinking something. Let me search it up real quick. I'm thinking that if I remember the myth correctly, there's a character that drives a boat. It's called Caronte in Italian. I'm currently searching up what it's called translated in English. Charon?
Karen.
Karen. Ma'am Karen. Anyways, Karen, who drives a boat and takes the dead people from the limbo, I believe was also back then, to the actual underworld. So I'm checking, like I'm searching it up online, yes. And also, true, you needed a coin you did, which is also like why, you know, there's like the, we actually kept it for a minute, the tradition of putting like coins on the eyes of the person, because technically those were the money, the coins that the dead person would give him to be brought on the other side. So maybe it's because we didn't have money on us, like these people didn't have money on them, and so they ended up in this place. In astronomy, Charon, the largest moon of the dwarf planet Pluto, is named after him. That's pretty dope, because Pluto, let me see what we're already searching up. Pluto in Roman mythology, I believe, was underworld. The god of the underworld, I believe. In Roman mythology, Pluto is the god of the underworld, the realm of the dead, and is often associated with wealth and mineral riches. He's the Roman counterpart to the Greek god Hades. And his wife was Proserpina, which is the temple we are actually coming from. Every time we come back from the loop, and the very first time when we first came over, Proserpina, so Pluto's wife, is the one we actually, like, her temple is where we actually come from. 100%. Okay, we figured that out. We figured out that part of the lore.
And here I am.
It's the same. It's literally the same girl. It's a girl. The girl that we saw when we first come back. It's the girl. Oh wait, maybe we do have coins, and that's why she even said, oh, I found some spare, I checked for your wallet, I only found some spare change. So maybe we do have money on us, and she sends us to the underworld. This is the actual underworld, so we do take that travel. Maybe. But it's, she is Karen, or whatever it's called. She's Karen. Couldn't stay, I skipped it, but he said couldn't stay away, huh? Lovely. Wait, let me see, let me hear it. For research purposes.
Couldn't stay away, huh, lovely?
Anyway, tell me about the temple.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, what I'm thinking. That temple, because he was talking about this temple up here. Where is it? Where the guy kills himself every time. That one.
Isn't the Great Temple majestic?
Yeah, I think so. If we actually got the lore right, that is Pluto's temple, which is the god that's keeping us here, because we are in the underworld. So Pluto. And he said that there was an obelisk, and I feel like maybe if we find the obelisk, we will, like, our character will get the knowledge that it's Pluto, and maybe we can do something about that. But I don't know what obelisk we're talking about. Also, this common thread, we found 2 out of 3. We gotta talk with more people. But I think the third one is gonna be about falling asleep or stuff like that. I've been asking people about how they wound up here.
Did you notice anything? A pattern?
Yes. 1. Some people mentioned a river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
2. Some people mentioned memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else?
3. Some people mentioned an encounter with a stranger on the riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter.
I did too.
It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Yes, a young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
I didn't ask, actually.
I see. And was this stranger by any chance wearing a hood?
I mean, technically, no. I mean, yeah, I mean, she had it just not with the hood on, but yeah, she was wearing a hoodie.
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Alright.
Don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
I'm totally gonna bang her.
You look well, my sartorial friend.
Loading, oh my gosh, that scared me. Girl, what kind of baths are you taking me to though? I've never been here. Oh no, I have been here when we were in the present. Yeah, this is where we walked through in the present. And then we got here and there's that on the door. Yes, 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 okay. Okay, well, no one is gonna know that we're here together. They would never figure out the two people in the bath are together.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood.
Yes.
Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see.
Yeah.
Oh, what a marvelous lamp.
Gotcha.
But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it. Only, I think I know who that stranger is. Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change.
Which you did keep, apparently.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But, on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
We are in the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in.
No, I knew already.
Look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
We figured out. We figured out by ourselves, bitch. Haha. See, this is what being passionate about mythology does to a motherfucker. It ruins, it spoils the stories. Let me see. I'm interested in why are this. Yeah, this is. Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Okay, that's interesting. What can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you
I
were
do
Roman,
actually,
or
but it's
even
okay.
Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Karen immediately? That's such a stupid question. I'm still gonna ask it though. Like, what you mean? Obviously, it was a hot lady. You think I'm gonna, like, my brain is gonna function properly?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described. And he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman with a hood.
Yeah, she was fine.
I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti. And Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
She wasn't trying to keep it. So we're dead?
That was
yes.
my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
We are probably not dead, but I don't know. AJ and I. Because she brings us back. So we're not dead. We wouldn't be able to come back if we were. We talked to her and she brought us back. We went back on the boat. So we are still alive. Me and AJ, Al, not AJ. Us two are technically alive. They are not. Which is also why we are able to go through the loop. I'm gonna ask this just out of curiosity, just to see if she tells me anything else, but...
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes
Damn,
in
4,
the
girl?
underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Scintilla. I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Pluto, 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 Pluto. Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
I know, you're kinda mean. Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold. Bitch.
Are you telling me that you can?
Yes, I
won't
can.
pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day.
I don't think
but
so.
First, you'd need an audience with you-know-who.
Ooh.
And for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city.
You know, I don't know
the
who.
problem is,
Oh,
the
Pluto,
door
okay.
has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed,
No.
but there are 4 plaques missing from its base.
Which is what he said
it looks
earlier.
As though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
Okay. Can you tell me about the I think maybe it's Sentius, since he created the loop. Maybe he took those away so that people couldn't go up to Pluto and talk to him and like tell him what Sentius was doing. Something like that, maybe? What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place.
Okay.
You'll find them all over Rome.
Okay.
But of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery.
Babe, it's the underworld.
However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Huh. From each. Well, I guess it's because, like, technically, I would say that as in today, when we look back at mythology, we kind of tend to associate gods as the same god with very similar mythology, very slightly different change of the myth. But it's always like the same figures. They tend to have always the same behaviors, especially Greek and Roman. So maybe it's because it's like the god of the underworld or goddess of the underworld for like each one of these things. And maybe that's why, because technically it's the same god for everyone. Also because there's Christians here. Why the fuck are there Christians here? Roman.
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of
the Christians
who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued that they've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year.
Well, we know a
so
couple.
Finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Okay. Greek?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius.
Okay.
His store is in the forum.
Egyptian?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident,
Who
will
is
be
it?
able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared.
He's the one under
But
everything.
I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern. So, perhaps you could talk to her. Or just take a look in his room.
I think he's the one that's under the city. Mystery plague.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
Okay. Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question. But the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
And then find the 4th one. And we got the Roman one with the places.
Ah, you again.
Any idea where I would find a Roman plague? Oh, just like that? Okay.
No idea what you're talking about.
Come on, I helped you treat your rheumatism.
I suppose you're right.
We're gonna hold it
I have
for
seen
that.
plaque. Sorry,
Okay.
I lied. Can't be too careful these days. Head into the caves behind the theater. Turn right again. Oh, and here. You'll need this key.
Thank you. He said go to the thingy and then right and right. The many shall suffer. Maybe here, right? And then right. I can't go here. Maybe that's another right. That's a second right. Didn't he say the theater? Oh, I found it. Okay.
What are you doing here?
Pluto,
Please
father
leave.
of riches. Wooden carving. Yeah, the same one for the Christian ones, the fish. Okay.
Hello
Hi.
again, my sartorial friend. What is on your mind?
I need a plaque.
And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. It's time! The election's on!
Don't give a fuck. The election's on. Because I spent a 2 time in this loop, so now I get to see it. Well, it's gonna be Manlius, I think. I'm gonna go with that. You good, Sanchez? Damn, it stopped the dialogue because they gotta do this shit. Don't fart, I'm in line. They're gonna know that it's me. Oh, this is the place. Alright. That's cool. This doesn't even count as a quest, actually, but I wanna see.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Oh,
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Sendius.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
I think it's 2 and 3.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus.
No.
That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crime.
I'll kill him.
This is madness.
His sentence? To fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius. Here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait, I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
Proceed, Domitius.
Insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies. It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is, a children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken.
The shadow boxing.
You old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins.
What happens if I kill him? I want to find out. I want to kill him. Fuck him. Hehe. I can't kill him. Alright, so we repeated the loop. Let me think. We can go to that guy. We can do that differently today. I need to take care of some stuff. This.
Alright,
that's it.
I'll go.
Ah, a fellow trap, greeting.
Hi. Anyways, we were saying...
My friend.
Where am I find a Greek plague? Because you didn't tell me.
And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me?
Yes.
Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Romana. Plus, I have no hair left to pull.
Yeah, you're bald.
My point is this.
Just shed my
If you
pants.
want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say...
Okay.
I hope...
What was that? This. Where is it? Let me see. Let me show you. Should be here. Here. He just randomly stops by. Well, there's like the whole lore. He comes over here, but because we needed his bow to be able to progress with the story, and we knew that this was gonna collapse, we told him the first time to go that the guy he was looking for, he's a bounty hunter, was gonna be in here, and then he died. And now every time, because I told Galerius to do that thing for me, basically, like the game just does it automatically, but I forget every time, and we were right next to it when it collapsed.
Do you like it? It's shiny, innit?
It's shiny, innit?
It makes me happy just looking at it.
Yeah, give it to me.
But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad.
Dooley, I'm getting an aneurysm, please.
Well... Galerius already...
Okay, I gotta get him out of here.
Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Bye-bye.
I had my volume way up and it made me jump. Yeah, I'm so sorry. If it makes you feel any better, the volume on stream is actually lower than my volume, so it was high as fuck for me too. I don't remember how I got down there. Oh well, I guess we'll go to this guy since I can find the other one.
Well,
Yap. Is this what Scintilla would want?
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone.
You'd never believe me if I told you?
If you say so. You don't understand.
Maybe I can help you.
It's too late for that.
She swallowed the hemlock, but no, she's fine.
Really?
Yes.
But still in debt.
But we're in debt. Actually, I do have the money. Yes.
Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No. No, you'd be free.
Do that for us? A couple of complete strangers.
Yeah, I saw you killing yourself like 5 times now. I cannot take this any longer. Of course.
It seems today We are both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Of course. This is the temple we were talking about. And, oh, okay, that's why I didn't see them. Here. These are the plaques that are missing. So technically I have one. There we go. And this is one. Now I gotta find that piece of shit. Maybe now that I picked up the bounty.
Thank you. Thank you.
At least I can start from my last save. Where was my... I just saved, right? Yeah. Oh, good thing I'm obsessed with saving, dude. Okay, let's not miss this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh! Okay, no, now I get it. Okay. Yeah, because he didn't jump. The first time I missed the water, right? The first time I jumped. Second time I jumped in the water and I still took all the damage. And I was like, what the heck? It's because he didn't jump. We were able to jump as well because he jumped and broke the pool. And he was also the one that, where I believe we would unlock extra dialogue if, whenever I would find out what god is the god that started the golden rule, and now we know. Oh, there's a door.
Ah, a
Hi.
visitor. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name?
I'm Andrea.
It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here?
I'm looking for a plaque that was removed from the obelisk.
Ah, yes, that cursed thing. I know exactly where it is.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you everything I know, but first,
okay.
A request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you.
Yes.
Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule?
Yes, it's Pluto.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute.
Thank you.
Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue?
Sounds easy enough. I don't really got a choice. You're awesome, thank you.
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong?
It's subjective. It's a complex question.
You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the Golden Rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the Golden Rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
Whose version of right and wrong? I like that
That is
answer.
an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct?
No.
Which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
No.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet?
I don't think there's such thing as correct morality.
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individually? Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
I think we decide for ourselves.
So if a man feels that stoning to death his unfaithful wife is right, then is it right?
No.
I agree. But why? Didn't you just say right and wrong depends on the individual?
Fine, I take that back.
And that's
I don't have answers that I want.
It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument.
It's not really superior, you're just being picky. What's your point?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
I'm not sure about that, but what about to do not kill?
Surely you would agree there are circumstances where an exception may be made, such as where it is necessary for self-defense or to prevent a greater evil.
Sure.
For any rule, you can imagine there are countless situations in which that rule may be suspended, and those situations are impossible to codify. If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them.
Type shit.
And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all.
I mean, if we think about this specific scenario, though, like the Golden Rule, aside from the people who do go around it, and we have met them, you know, who would like find other ways to still be evil and still do wrong to other people, but at the same time not going on against it. But aside from those, a huge chunk of people don't do, I don't know, actually. Yeah, it's right what he said. This is actually so cool. I agree.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, now, can you give me the fucking plaque? Like, that was cool, but can you give me the plaque?
You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription?
Yes.
It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you, if Kabash had not already taken it.
Okay, where's Kabash?
I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know.
Okay.
Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people.
Okay.
When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the shrine of Persephone became the shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans.
Okay. Yes.
However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription.
And there's also another one. What did it say?
I had no
Anubis?
idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail.
Okay. What's in there?
There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate.
Yes, it's this door that I just noticed. I did not notice it last time. Dude is still yapping. Yeah, we had a full conversation. Just in case. Can we save? It's locked from the other side. That's Kabash, maybe? That's the sound that I keep hearing every dang time. We're not in the cistern though, right? So we shouldn't see the lady. Scintilla. We should be in a different place right now. Wow, these are definitely... What the fuck was that? They got more of this. No, dude, I hate them. They're so scary. They're so scary. I don't want to be here. An Egyptian plague, which translates to the many shall suffer for the sins of the one. But that's Egyptian. Oh my god. Ah, it scared me. Nah, dude, I'm terrified right now. Oh, I can kind of skip them, I think. I can shoot them, okay? I don't have to interact with them. I believe I would be safe and wouldn't have to shoot them, but still. Let me save. I'm gonna save after every single one of them. Thank you for the phasmal breath, Rock. That scared me. This is Anubis, I believe. Should be, I think. Is that a guy? Yeah, it's a guy with a bow. I don't know who that is. I don't remember that one. Are we in the British Museum? I think so, yeah. I mean, everyone speaks English, so yeah, probably. We gotta talk to him. Stop. Kabash.
Do not come any closer. Who are you?
Who the fuck are you? Why the fuck are there these creepy bastards here?
I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors.
No, I just want the plague.
To what end?
I want to return it to the obelisk.
That is welcome news. You really are not Greek or Roman, are you?
Bitch,
I was
do I
planning
look?
to return it myself, but for now, I must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
Thank you. Oh, Osiris! Wait, what's the... I forgot. Let me check super quick. I'm sorry, just out of curiosity. What's the difference? No, because Anubis would be the one testing you with your heart and a feather. Osiris is the god of fertility, agriculture, afterlife, the dead, resurrection, life, and vegetation. And yeah, okay. And Anubis, what is he defined as? Anubis is the god of, wait, I gotta translate it, I gotta put it in English. God of funerary rites, so the mummification, whatever. Protection of graves, and guide to the underworld. Thanks.
Now, as for the other plaque.
Yeah, the first one, you know about that.
Indeed, I have it right here.
Can you give me?
I stumbled across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit, and there it was.
May I have it?
You may not.
Why not?
In fact, I am about to destroy it.
Why would you do that?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
Talk about ruining your ancestry, dude. You're doing the same shit. What the hell?
I will tell you, but first, do you know what this place is?
The Duat.
Indeed, and I see you know our history. This is the Duat. See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story, and here is what I have learned. As Egypt declined and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers. But instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld, they desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Kerti, they renamed to Keron.
Oh, okay, it's a different figure.
That desecration was not enough. They built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
So what's your problem?
It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us. And that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this, I cannot accept.
I don't fucking care.
Sense a deception. Perhaps it is the work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris once more.
What does the inscription say?
You will never know. This
That's rude.
work of sacrilege must be destroyed.
And I'm gonna throw myself in the hole.
The black abyss below in Osiris's name.
Please don't.
You are too late.
It
is
didn't
done.
matter. Now I'm going to have to go in after it.
You would plunge into the depths of the Duat with no way back up. Madness.
Maybe you're just stupid. You consider that? I'll find a way back up.
We shall see.
See, because I saw this hole when we were coming here, and I thought, oh, like, is this I couldn't tell if this was like the guy we were looking for or another of those mummies, because it was sitting right here. And I was like, oh no, is it gonna try to shoot me and I gotta jump down?
You are still here.
Me. Sumerian! Dude, I did say it. I just didn't know how it was in English and I said Sumeri, which is the Italian way. A plaque bearing cuneiform inscription. Nergal, the fierce one. I don't know enough about Sumerian myths though, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I did. That scared me. Sumer, a sum of things before it. Is that what it means? I was always very curious about Sumerian mythology. I don't know, it's one of those that you, at least when I was a kid, so you know, there were not as many sources as now, I would say. It was kind of difficult to learn more about them. Stranger, heed the final words of Namkuzu, something. Bear witness to our aftermath and lament us. We did our best to live as the gods commanded. We planted and harvested together. We shared the bread and beer. We accepted newcomers with open arms, as if a family. But with each newcomer, the bonds of our family strained, and soon we were as strangers to each other. And when those bonds were finally broken, my brothers and sisters planted only for themselves and ate and drank alone. And it was there, in the empty space between us, that sin took rot. Nergal's sentinels have awoken and clamor at our barricades. Learn from our myths. See, it's always been this way. No matter the god, no matter the people, it still worked the same way. There was always this golden rule, which again, as I said earlier, I believe this is kinda, you know, following the steps of those mindsets and those believers that fundamentally all the religions are simply taking the older mythology and turning it into something closer to the modern times, which is, for some people, also what happened with Christianity, with Islam and all of that. It's actually fairly interesting. If you ever want to look into that, I find it pretty dope, personally, as a non-religious person. No. Not officially, but I'll be damned if it isn't true. Official Sumer is first, oldest civilization. There's an archaeologist I remember who defined the first civilization, the first proofs of civilization, as the oldest body found with like the femur, like the hip, whatever, solidified after being damaged, which was pretty much the proof that they were not leaving people to die, but they were actually trying to help them and let them survive. This? Fucking hell, dude. I gotta change my pants now. Can I just walk around them?
When I told you that you would not find a way back up, that was not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here.
There's no need for this to end in violence. I just shed my pants, dude. Leave me alone, please. Have some decency.
I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against perpetuating this sacrilege, but you persisted. You have undermined and dishonored the true god of the underworld. How did you think this would end, if not with bloodshed?
Just hear me out.
Very well, I will listen. But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out my threat. So tell me, why should I let you live after you salvaged this instrument of blasphemy?
I'm just trying to replace all the plagues taken from the desecrated obelisk.
Why? To what end?
I'm hoping it will earn me an audience with the god of the underworld. Just to restore honor. I mean, so far I pretty much never had to lie, if I think about it. Maybe like the very first time. But I never really had to lie to a character to get what I wanted. It didn't seem like the choice in dialogue changed that much if it was like just normal, so I'm hoping it will earn me an audience with the god of the underworld.
But why? What business could you have with Osiris?
That's my own business. I'm going to confront him about the golden rule.
Blasphemous fool! You have sealed your own fate.
If you attack me, you break the golden rule.
Good. I welcome it. You see, the philosopher told me that each time it breaks, Osiris bellows with rage, and his voice shakes the very foundations of the earth.
You shouldn't be happy about that.
I can only hope one more tremor will lay waste to this fragile place once and for all, and you along with it.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Fucking piece of shit of a guy. Ugh. Fucking piece of shit of a guy. You dick. Where the fuck do I go now? Oh, here. Leave me alone, dude! How the fuck do I get out? I'm gonna go insane. I'm about to go insane. Phew. Do I gotta grab it again? Oh no, okay. Hi.
I'm not.
Can we talk?
Talk.
How would you like some help getting back at Malios?
An intriguing proposition. Go on.
I don't think he is who he says he is.
Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look.
Okay, rude.
What makes you say that?
Just a hunch. I was hoping we could figure out his true identity together.
You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a love letter. Only, he used the wrong name. Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But in this case,
he got his own name.
The name he got wrong was his own. I
Quintitious.
confronted him about it, and he stammered through some incoherent response. I let it go, eventually, and yet questions have lingered in the back of my mind ever since. But wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me?
I want him to withdraw. Yep.
To withdraw? Listen, I may not be Penelope to his Ulysses, but to ruin his plans to become a magistrate? You must think me quite mad. Demetrius!
Bitch. And while we reset, actually, I wanted to try something. I wanted to see what happens if I kill Sentius. Since he's the one technically that has the loop. Waiting for it to save.
Don't be so foolish. If you kill me, we all die. Allow me to explain. When I discovered the ritual to Proserpina, the instructions came with a warning about paradoxes.
Okay.
The crux of it is this. If you do anything to change the course of history in such a way that your very being here is impossible, you will have created a paradox. To illustrate, when the golden rule is broken, I will open the doorway that will bring you here to prevent it from being broken. If you manage to succeed in saving our lives, then I will have no reason to open the doorway, and you will never have come here. A paradox. You see? The same thing would happen if you, say, inadvertently, allowed me to die. If I can't summon you, then you can't be here, obviously. If either of those things were to happen, I am given to understand you would be flung back to your original time, having changed the course of history for us and yourself.
Uh-huh. So if I killed you, everyone would die and I return to my original timeline with no way back.
Indeed.
Ah, too bad. I might
Thank
need to
you.
rethink.
I'll be waiting here
No.
for news.
No.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
What happens though? He's so chill about it, yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Alworth, I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Andrea. I was hoping you would know who I am. No, I'm Andrea.
Really? That's strange.
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kind of rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina and murdered a local magistrate, breaking some kind of ancient law.
That was me.
It said that the voice of a furious god rang out, and the ground trembled and statues sprang to life, firing arrows at the city's inhabitants. Apparently, as the citizens screamed and died in pain, the stranger just vanished in a flash of light.
Actually, that was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
You understand? When I first arrived here in the present day, I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
That's what she said. I still have the suicide note you carved into this tablet. Here.
Let me see that.
There you go.
God, why does this writing look so familiar?
Because it's yours.
I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It was written by a different version of you. I changed your past, the past, and your fate.
I'm not following.
You're stupid. I killed the man who opened the time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Yup.
I guess. So what you're really saying is, you brought me back from the dead.
Not
to
really.
let me die all over again. You saw the tablet. I spent a lifetime searching for a way out, and never found one. I can't see how I could possibly find one now, so it seems like we're both gonna die here.
No, what you mean? I'm sorry I made a mistake?
A mistake?
What you
murdered
mean?
a man in cold blood, and now there's a city full of dead people. It's only a matter of time before we join them. I guess all those old Latin inscriptions were right. Pro peccata unius multis dolabunt. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Ending 1 of 4. Okay, let's try this again.
Oh no.
Can we talk? Getting back at him.
So now, but
women have to stick together.
I couldn't agree more. One hand washes the other, as they say.
Yeah.
It seems our interests are aligned. I imagine knowing his true identity will give me the leverage I need to manage him appropriately. But first, I need you to do something for me.
What do you want?
I want you to bring me some wine. Just one small urn should do it. Oh, don't look at me like that. I know this must be hard for you to wrap your sweet little pleb head around. So what do you need me to spell
Chill out. Why do you want... Why can't you get it yourself, actually?
You mean, aside from the fact that I'm locked in this room, and Domitius is right outside the villa, because there's barely any left in the city. In fact, there's only one small urn, as far as I'm aware. And getting it won't be easy.
Why do you want one?
Let me tell you something about Malleolus. He talks a lot about freedom, but what he doesn't tell you is that he means freedom for men.
Of course,
After all I've done for him, counseling him through his entire election campaign, and he had the audacity to lock me in here. He said it was for my own good, and that my drinking was unbecoming of a lady, let alone the wife of a magistrate. I'll show him unbecoming. Tonight, at his victory party, I'm going to get good and merry, and if he tries to discipline me again, I'll threaten to expose his true identity in front of everyone. I am so looking forward to it.
Okay.
So, you'll help me?
I get you some wine.
Excellent. Now, you'll need to pay a visit to that strumpet Aurelia in her tavern. I expect you'll have to flatter her a bit. If that doesn't work, you might be able to get some advice from Yulia, who's probably still at the shrine of Apollo. I heard they used to be close. They both appreciate the poetry of Sappho of Lesbos, if you get my meaning.
I see what I can do. Alright, alright. Damn, that's even worse. Yulia got betrayed by her lover. Because Aurelia basically sold her to Manlius piece of shit over here. That's even worse. Oh my gosh.
Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, Caput Murder.
So, the fuck did I do? What you mean?
Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, Caput Murder.
That. I think that's the one that I was reading. But I don't... Oh no, I should be able to actually in every... There we go. Fuck you, bitch. Like, how was I supposed to know that it was here? Come on now. Oh.
Barge into my villa and offer me wine. I'd have you thrown out, but it just so happens that is exactly what I need. The question is, what do you want for it?
I know you have a letter of some sort. I was hoping we can figure out Malleus' true identity together.
Ah, it seems Bacchus smiles on me once again. And I believe I have just the thing you're looking for. Some time ago, he wrote me a letter and signed it Quinctius, apparently by accident. I've kept it ever since, hoping one day I'd find out what it meant. I'll happily show it to you for that wine.
All right. Deal.
Thank you. Here's the letter.
Thank you. Quintitius to beloved Claudia. For a time I despaired at the thought of being trapped here for the rest of my life, but then I met you and discovered that as long as I'm with you, I'm exactly where I should be. Mere words cannot express my affection for you, and so I will perform a grand gesture in your honor. I will become the city's magistrate so that I may govern with wisdom and strength with you by my side. Thank you.
Now, perhaps you can tell me who Quinctius really is.
According to this bounty from Emperor Nero, he's the person who started the fire in Rome last year.
What? He's... Oh no. That's... quite a lot more serious than I imagined. I only wanted some leverage over him, not to destroy him. Give me that immediately. Nobody else must know.
No, I think I hang on to it.
No. You tricked me.
I didn't.
You mendacious little stirkers.
I didn't lie to you. I'll be going now.
I curse you. I curse your life and mind and memory.
I curse your cow.
May you be unable to walk or eat or drink. May this drag you to the depths. This is outrageous.
Beep, 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 beep. Sir, I know you're Quintitious. Your wife gave me your love letter, and Nero wants you dead.
So, it finally caught up with me. I suppose that makes you, what? One of Nero's assassins?
No.
So, you're not going to kill me?
No, I want you to withdraw from the elections.
Oh, so much work and money.
I will let you live, yes.
Fine. Ruling this cesspit of a city would have been beneath me anyway.
Right?
I'll have Domitius notify the priestess of my withdrawal and release those two from debt bondage. There. You got what you wanted. Now, please, leave my villa and never speak to me again.
I wonder if I can actually have that happening with Galirus, whatever.
Domitius, are you listening?
But
yes, sir. I've made a decision to release Julia Anulpius.
Okay, so I'm gonna save, and I actually want to do this one. I want to go back to her because we're proceeding with the one that is like the final ending, and since it's taking so long with all the plagues and stuff, I feel like that should be like the canonic ending. We're gonna do it for the last, like the actual one with the lore, the one you're actually supposed to do. So I forgot about you. So we're gonna try to do this one. Save. And wait, where is she? Oh no, she wasn't here, was she? Can you not kick statue? He was in the way. I had to move. Now, last time, our ending, we released her. I don't know if we don't gotta release her or what.
You? Who are you? Did he send you?
Nam Andrea, nobody sent me.
You're here. You have to help me escape before that monster comes back.
What's going on here?
I'm Centilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who did this to you?
Sentius. My adoptive father. Furies help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
What will you do if I release you, even though she just told me?
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the Golden Rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
What about the others?
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
What if I round everyone up so they're ready to escape once the Golden Rule is broken?
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never.
No, because if I let her go, we're gonna get the third ending again, which is the one we got last time. So I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, but if I let you go, everyone else is going to die.
What? No, you can't just leave me here. How can you be so heartless?
Not heartless, just rational. Our escape isn't worth the life.
I hate you. I spit on you. I hope this drags you to Tartarus.
Thank you. So I gotta go all the way back now.
I hope you have a good reason for flouting.
Well, I'm gonna kill your wife then.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve.
Ooh, see? Okay, the golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quietly get everyone except Sentius ready to run in the upper system when the ground starts to rumble.
What? That's a big ask.
Trust.
I doubt I'll be able to gather more.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh shit, I used the wrong arrow. I used the wrong bow. I used the normal one. Sorry. I'm Andrea, nobody sent me. I know we've had this conversation before. I've told Galerius to lead everyone here when the golden rule is broken so they can escape too.
How did you know? Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
And this part of it is like the other ending that we had.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
As if I'll tell
So
you.
that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I told you I was going to break you. I'm not
Do you really think you can take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
I probably could, but I'm going to let her have this one.
Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. The other should be right behind us. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Hi, Al. Hi, Al. I came here to find you.
Here I am.
I'm Andrea.
Really?
That's strange. It's like that
It
thing.
described an event about freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, Scintilla and a handful of other citizens managed to escape, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
That was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2000...
Yes, we're just gonna skip this. It's always the same stuff. This section is always the same. See, it doesn't make any sense though, because in this case, Sentius died as well. But still, he doesn't... Like, Caront is still here.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Alright. Yeah, this part of the end is like the previous one we did. This is Karen. Oh, it shows!
You're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
What a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered your real name is Cameron. Or was it Kurthy?
Ah.
I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
A lot. Who are you really?
You can just call me Caroline, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time.
The truth is that?
That you died, of course.
Okay.
You were dead when I brought you here.
Okay.
My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
How did I die?
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
Yes, I want to know.
As you wish. You were murdered.
Okay.
You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, as you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by 2 thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done.
Which is
He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth.
Okay.
You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Karen's Opal by some. And so it was my duty to bring you here.
What's so special about these coins?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin
yes.
in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here.
Why?
That is a question you would have to ask him, if that were still possible, in light of the path you had chosen. I am just his servant, doing his bidding. Only now, I find myself bereft of purpose. You see, the coins on you and Al were the last of the 1,000 in existence. There is nobody else to ferry here, nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
Can you return us to the land of the living?
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of, well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look.
Thank you. Let me read it.
I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but Octavia, Lucretia, Horatius, Equitia and I will never forget you, or what you did for us. It pains us that so many of our dear friends were not so fortunate, including Ulpius and Galerius, who heroically tried to rescue Dooley, but never made it back.
Dummies.
But there is no point dwelling on what might have been. All we can do is take this gift you've given us and try to show others the same compassion you showed us. We promise you that saving our lives was not for nothing. Scintilla et al.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Alright, Karen, ferry us home. I don't get it why we go back. Ending 3? Let me search up the endings. I just want to see if maybe I mistakenly thought of 2 and 3 and I switched them. Yeah, we got, because last time we had the one that got away. And right now we got the ones that got away. So they are roughly the same thing. The difference is in the 2, which is the one that we got last time apparently. For the number 2, we leave with Scintilla and it's just the 2 of us. With 3, it's more. It's everyone. Okay, sorry Scintilla, bye. Oh, also, can we try this while we were waiting? Huh? Galerius. Okay.
Salve again, friend. I went and... How is it possible?
I'm reliving the same day. We're gonna do everything. Ever thought of running running? Oh my gosh.
I bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never gonna do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's gonna take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
He withdrawed.
He did?
Withdrew.
Oh, that was unexpected. I wonder what could have possessed him to do that.
I wonder.
Well, I guess it's time for me to step up then. I'll let Equitia know I'll be running.
If I remember correctly, I could speak to the lady over there and rush the elections, so I would do them faster and I don't gotta wait for the actual time. What's the status of the elections?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Galerius, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Can we do it now?
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk.
Holding it early may prevent conflict. Yes.
Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict.
Right?
Very well. I'll get things started right away.
W.
Citizens,
I don't remember where we do it.
Let
Where do
us
we do
meet
it?
to elect our magistrate.
I just follow. Okay, I follow you guys. Galerius, my man, my dude.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helver.
What?
What?
Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here.
Okay.
Move along.
Where's Dooley? Who is the guy that gotta free him? Come over. Damn, everyone is coming here? Hi. We're having a party with Dooley.
Salve.
Hi.
You're going to let me out of here?
I feel like he will
Sorry it took so
break
long,
the
my
golden
friend.
rule.
And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georges I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
I don't give a shit, Dooley. Leave me alone.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You can, maybe my friend Hannibal used to look after, but...
What was it?
He gave me a key to the cisterns.
Okay. I'll help you. Thank you, Dooley. Thank you.
Hope you find it. Oh, look, maybe it is treasure.
100% he's gonna break it. I'm guessing it's gonna be related.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Dooley! Not even fucking 30 seconds after we freed you, you already stole something? Dooley, come on now, man. Okay. I mean, technically it should be the oldest one. Pluto? Oh god. Oh, that I'm silly. Okay, I believe each room is gonna be for a specific god, which technically is just gonna be going back in time slowly. So it's gonna be Greek, Egyptian, and Sumerian. But we can also look at our surroundings for that. So 80s. Egyptian. So Osiris and Sumerian. Nergal. Damn. Hi. This is Quintitious, no? No, maybe not. I guess they picked up the ones that they liked more. This is Egyptian. I'm prone to say it does look like it, yeah.
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
What's your story? Yeah.
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
All of it. I want to know all of it. You're a god?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
May I see your true form?
No. Long ago, I swore to Proserpina that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Sad. Who's the woman to your left?
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal.
Okay.
Your gaze lingers too long.
My bad. She's fine. Like, I would take that as a compliment. Who's that on your right,
That
anyways?
is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many
Oh,
names.
okay.
Kumutabal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish.
What is this place?
It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager you made?
That is a long story, one that began over
I wanna know.
3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars.
Okay.
We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric.
Type.
You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused.
Yeah.
I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium.
See, that makes more sense than the coins.
My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime.
She wants to be left
and
alone,
here
dude.
I am, after all this time, still waiting.
She doesn't want to be with you, like...
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, June, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape.
Makes sense.
I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
Oh wait, I think he's gonna say that he picked the people with the coins, which is what we heard this other ending when we talked to Charon.
To ensure the wage was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived.
See, this makes sense.
As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's Oval, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Proserpina's along with it.
Okay. How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer.
Okay.
A troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream.
Well, I mean...
His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped.
Oh, the ones we were talking about,
Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place. though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Let's talk about something else.
Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people into gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world.
Type.
Of all the women, two were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place.
Oh, she killed her?
She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain.
Okay.
But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all, to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city,
Yeah, we've noticed that.
inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, as silent golden sentinels.
What do you consider a sin?
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios.
Okay.
This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you.
Okay.
Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation.
True.
Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Pretty curious. It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. True, because he kidnapped Proserpina. He did kidnap her and just decided that they were gonna be together.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes
He's missing the point, exactly. Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
I'm a human, you know, we are odd sometimes. I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could... Oh, so that's why he doesn't consider suicide. Because if he actually keeps the don't do to others what you wouldn't be done to you. If you're killing yourself, realistically, you're not hurting anyone or damaging anyone but yourself. So I believe that's why it wasn't a sin.
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations?
Sorry.
Or are you going to give me an example?
No. Experiments on the golden statues, yeah.
The midwife in the palace?
Yes.
How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want to be experimented upon if she were guilted.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves.
I give you that one.
They are forsaken. What happens to them?
That seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule.
Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words.
Okay.
Literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language.
Price gouging for life-saving medicine, that
The
too.
merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined?
You would want access to the prices. Like, you want access to medicine if you're dying?
I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others.
Ah,
and he would be quite
okay.
capable of paying the price anyway.
Debt to bondage.
You speak of the moneylender.
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract because of a loan.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. Now
Okay. With all of this, I understand. Like, I understand where he's coming from. Doesn't mean I agree with it, but that's a really... Like, he's right. It is a really objective way to look at it because he takes it literal. And not just for humanity as a whole, but for the single individual. So, I'll give him that. Anyways, it's no wonder people say the gods are cruel. This just shows how unreliable and subjective your moral code is. You're no better at judging right from wrong than any human. I don't agree, but yeah, this is the only dialogue to get out of here.
do you honestly think you could do better?
No, but that's my point. Nobody grasps, nobody's grasp of right and wrong is so perfect they can be trusted with all this power. You've become a tyrant.
I should strike you down for that.
And if you did, you'd be proving my point.
Now, did you have any other questions before your reckoning?
His definitions were subjective? No, because I feel like... So, the fact that he is by all means using it objectively. He's like, for the single individual, it's considered a sin if they're doing something that they wouldn't be done to them. Right? Suicide is something that you do to yourself. So, that is already unrelated. But, like the merchant that he said, the merchant by all means would always expect the people to do the same that he does, and so by doing what he does, he's not breaking it because he's doing what he expects other to be. Like, I don't know if it makes sense, but it's like, it's a loop because he starts with a flawed assumption. That flawed assumption turns into why he can actually do what he does. He even used to do unto others or don't do unto others. Small difference in wording, but one is subjective, other objective. Okay, yeah, no, I get that. I mean, as we said in the myth, Proserpina is being kidnapped. Persephone is as well. Like, it's the myth that everyone knows, I feel like, for the Greek more than the Romans. But she gets kidnapped and she is forced to marry him. So I don't think he wouldn't probably want to get kidnapped and marry someone he doesn't love, yet he did it. So even with that, he is the first one contradicting his own rule. Let's talk about something else.
Very well.
That's all the questions I had.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
I'm from the future.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
He can't see my life. He can't see my life and like weight my good and bad deeds because I'm not even born yet. Also, look at the results. He's enslaving another being. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna lie. I was hoping you could tell me.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000 years.
Huh. Shouldn't you know that? I don't like neither. Like, shouldn't you know this as the god of the underworld?
Tread lightly, mortal.
I didn't have a choice.
Enough of this.
I didn't like that dialogue.
It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
Stop with the golden rule. I'd like you to put an end to the golden rule.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called golden rule?
How can you expect us to live without sin if you can't do it yourself?
That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed?
You kidnapped a lady?
What evidence do you have to support it?
Didn't you abduct the Proserpina and imprison her here?
I am well aware of the story told by the Greeks and Romans of my so-called abduction. It is entirely unfair. My love was dying, and I intervened the only way I could to save her life. What would you have done?
Respected her choice. But didn't she choose to die?
It was an act of rebellion against the others. She knew I would have to act to save her, and I did because I loved her.
Nope.
I love her still.
Nope.
Accordingly, I reject your argument.
Well, that's my next argument. Well, he explained this one already. So, giving punishment to even people who didn't commit any sin. But he explained that he needs to start all over again every time for it to actually count. So, you trap the people in the city against their will. I mean, they're dead, but yeah, let's try this one.
These people were all dead when my servant found them. I gave them a second chance at life. Would you prefer to have simply ceased to exist?
Maybe.
Then you still have the option to end your life should you wish, and you are no worse off than if I had not intervened. Accordingly, I reject your argument.
I like to change my argument.
Very well.
The golden rule is corrupting the city and ensuring you'll never win the wager.
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up.
I think they'll just expect me to use the bow, but I want to try everything else if I can first. Aurelius exploiting people's desperation to escape by selling them hemlock.
I admit, I have grown disturbed watching them.
Malleus has trapped the people in debt to bondage by convincing them that rebelling would break your law.
His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day.
Decius price gouging.
True. I have witnessed him do it.
Because he knows that no one can take that by force.
If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully?
No.
Without theft or violence? Without my law?
No, but humans need to be able to use of force in exceptional circumstances to correct their societies.
How so?
We use violence to discourage bad behavior, to neutralize criminals and overthrow tyrants. I'm related, but I'm afraid I'll forget. He just said something cool. He said, oh, so by observing, I think he said, I'm changing the thing that I'm trying to observe impartially. That's actually a scientific phenomenon. That we actually don't know the state of things because observing them does mutate, like does change them. Even simply observing a phenomenon has an influence into the phenomenon. So that's pretty dope. Anyways.
And how is that working for you?
Where I'm from, 2,000 years in the future, it's working pretty well. On average, life expectancies are climbing and crime rates are declining. Where is he from? Where is this guy from? 2,000 years. 2,000 more years than me, that's for sure. He's in 4025, what?
So you say, and yet your world is still imperfect.
Our world will always be imperfect, but the kind of force required to create a utopia will inevitably result in tyranny.
You have spoken eloquently.
Thank you.
And yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning.
Yeah.
But that would mean Jupiter, Proserpina's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
So you would have to leave her fucking alone? Perhaps he wanted you to abandon the wager so Proserpina would be free from you.
Perhaps. If that was so, surely I would have sensed his deception. How could I have been so blind for so long?
Because you're dumb. Perhaps you were blinded by your love for Proserpina. It's very human.
Your words sting me, mortal. Perhaps it is what I deserve.
Because I couldn't say what I wanted to say. I wanted to say you're an idiot.
I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice, quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here,
But know
bitch.
this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
And the world kept spinning. Why can't we? Oh no, they already said. We just want to return to the world.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time.
That wasn't really my fault.
Now, are you ready?
Are you ready to rumble?
Farewell,
Prose, did that work? I hope I helped her. We're going back. Hi, y'all. What's good, little bruh?
Oh.
Oh.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth, I came in here to find you.
Here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Andrea.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me?
Yes.
I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to her, Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Yes, that was me.
What? Oh, I see.
Oh.
For a moment there, I thought you were serious. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
I'm right behind you. True, because actually this is the only one where we can't tell him, like realistically tell him that it was us in the past, because this is the only one where Al technically never died. Like technically, time-wise, we didn't never
pause here
moved.
for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Mm-hmm. Because with the two with Scintilla, we came back, but we survived the golden law, the golden rule. So we came back and he was technically still dead, and we had this little tablet that he wrote. With Sentius, same thing. But this one, it never happened. So we never found that tablet and we can't give it to him. Does she remember us though?
You're back! But...
I found him.
Why don't you tell...
I discovered you're not who you say you were. I remember meeting you 2,000 years ago.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know.
I want to know what happened to Proserpina. Who are you, really?
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people.
We're just gonna skip it, it's the same.
That you died.
How did I die?
Ask your...
Yes, I want to know. We got more murdered.
He died. That man's name was Al Worth.
We already saw this dialogue.
In possession of a sacred coin called...
Pluto says the coin Al and I had were the last in existence. What does that mean for you?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
Okay. We don't know anything
else. I see no
else.
point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted.
Sounds good to me.
And you?
Let's go. We got all the endings, I think. Ooh! Ooh! There's more! There's more! 1 year later. Damn, we still use the shitty doors? What is that exit? You gotta crouch to walk out?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again.
Oh my god, Al,
I
you're
read your
completely
book
different.
And what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news.
Yes?
So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius' tablet. And I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Galerius!
You're finally here. Remember me?
Galerius!
crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
You're with Equisha now?
I know! I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're gonna be around, we'd love to see you.
I'm gonna cry. I would love that. Oh my god.
Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving.
What you mean?
We'll speak again soon, my friend.
All 20 of them? Oh no, does that... Oh, Equisha!
You're here. It's
Oh yeah, Equisha!
So, you're the hero who somehow I'm just teasing. Actually...
How's
Oh,
Livia?
it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I really don't want to talk with all of them though, can I be honest? This is Julie.
There she is.
Yeah.
Evening.
Oh, that makes
Hey.
sense. Horatius. She's a bitch. She's the wife of Senchi's wife or something.
Hello.
Julia. Lucretia.
Hello.
Magnificent museum, is it not?
Right.
Greetings.
Oh, this is the guy. What the fuck are you doing?
Some soiree, innit?
Oh my god, your foot, your foot is clipping outside of your shoe.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Octavia, Livia. Oh yeah, you're doing okay, ma'am. Kabash.
What is up?
What is up, my guy?
Hello.
Oh my god. Are y'all? Shut up! Shut up! I was right. He was in the closet this whole time.
Nice to meet you.
Why are you next to him? How are you doing
I
yourself?
live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern.
I knew it!
Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time.
Replay that shit. What did I say? Whoever this is, it's a bitch in the closet. Cause it takes one to know one. The motherfucker even got with him now.
Hello there.
Scintilla? You didn't look that good last time I saw you. Go, Sebastian.
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name.
What you mean? What?
You didn't hear?
Sentius?
My adoptive father,
No, I know,
Sentius,
actually, but
locked
yeah.
me up in the upper cistern to stop me from escaping. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Sounds like he got what he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll talk to Proserpina? What the fuck? Is it night?
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Sorry if I frightened you.
You did.
Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
You created the time loop?
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath.
What became of Pluto?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
Slay. What became of
she inherited
Karen?
dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
Yeah.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Yes, of course I do.
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned,
that's me!
None came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
That's me! I'm hot. Ending 4 of 4. Wow. We did it! We played all of them! We got all the endings! That was a lot. I mean, I guess it's also because I really wanted to get all the endings. So it took me slightly longer. But by all means, if you like wanna play the game yourself, maybe you wanna explore all the things that I didn't explore, and you wanna pick an ending, I would say ignore the first 3, just go for the 4th one. You don't really need to do those endings. I don't think they give you that much. In general, they're not that interesting, I feel like, but this one is cool to, you know, to experience yourself, and you can also like talk to every single one of them if you wish to. It was pretty cool. It was nice. It was a really nice game. I'm really happy we got to play that.